Hello everyone. The purpose of this video will be, it's like a reference. This is going to be a reference video for not all you need to know, but all that I know and can share with you regarding putting on this Deadpool outfit. And hopefully my number one goal will be that someone out there who has not considered cosplaying or wants to cosplay as whatever, hopefully you want to try Deadpool, because that's what most of this information will be, will get some use out of it. So to start off, before jumping into costumes or anything, I just want to give a few shout outs to people that I used to follow for a long time before I even started this whole thing. One of the folks, of course, is B-Boy Spider-Man, someone who has like a really nice set of pictures demonstrating cosplay, someone who definitely seems like he's having fun doing it, and has, I think, a busted up arm lately. So if you get a chance, give him a follow. You're gonna like the stuff he posts, and maybe you can be like, hey man, I hope your arm gets better, or whatever. He's a pretty cool guy. We also have Spidey Fit. So yeah, both of these guys are mainly Spider-Man dudes, but they're also gonna be sporting the new and future and very movie accurate looking Deadpool suit that's being made by a professional cosplay. Actually, the only person that I've actually seen so far wearing this suit is this guy. His name is Jason Kramer, and he's probably somewhere here in the comments. I did not prepare for this. Who else? Well, let's never forget Deadpool Cosplay. This guy had the most epic overlaid foam armor onto just like some Deadpool suit. This outfit is great, y'all. He's a really awesome person. He's one of the down on the cosplayers, and some of his buddies. Like, there's real talent down there, and he's also really good because his Facebook page is very useful for if you're gonna want to build some of the Deadpool props, such as what does he have here? Well, you don't necessarily have to build the whole extra armor shoulder. I'm sorry about this. My internet is really slow, so that's going to be a thing. But for example, if you want to build this belt with the pouches and this teleporter, he's going to have pretty useful pictures for how exactly he made this whole thing. Like right there. To some of us, that's sufficient to put together everything we need to make this. But if you need more info, he's really good at getting back to you, so check him out. That's Deadpool Cosplay. Another guy who I just ran into in person before is James Phipps, and I like what I've been seeing lately is he's been building these shin armor for the Deadpool. It's just a lot of useful pictures, and I think pictures can do a lot. If, again, you're not the kind of person that can just look at the picture and get all the information, well, then contact him. Like, now you know where to get him, and you can get all that info. Also, if you're ever going to be at Dragon Con, which is the annual con that happens here in Atlanta, Georgia, make sure to find us on Dragon Con Deadpools. And that's pretty much where most of us who do go to the con hang out, post stuff that might be interesting, useful for others, or just, keeping up with the things we've been doing, current events. There is another one for parade. But anyways, so that's for the shout outs. Now let's get to the actual making the suit. Oop, wrong section. Yeah, wow, my computer is just dying from all this recording. Anyways, so for my suit, right? I've said this in person, and you've seen the suit as I talked about it. But here's kind of like the process of what it's going to look like when you're on the internet. So the actual pattern, this is the virtual design of the suit. It's basically a PDF file that can be changed to different sizes based on people's individual measurements. I got that info from this is called Gunhead Design, and it's right here. This is the movie Deadpool pattern. You can either buy just a normal file, whatever that means, or you can buy it with the extra mask. So I got it with the extra mask, and that went for $65. Wow. But one thing to notice, if you were on the main website, they link to RPC Studio and Zentai. So if we follow those links, we'll end up on RPC Studio. And sometimes this website, even on a good internet connection, will take a sec to load. One, they're based in Thailand, so maybe that's a reason. And since I started listing, two, I love these folks because they actually dress up. Sometimes when you buy from a certain vendor, you won't ever see, that cohort be really involved in cosplaying. Versus if you check out the RPC Studios on Instagram, like they have their group that not only makes the stuff for us, they also are part of the fandom. They'll put the costumes on. And I appreciate that. That's one of the reasons I would like to give them money as opposed to maybe going a slightly cheaper option that has exactly the same thing, maybe not as professional, but you know, I'm just giving it to a company. I like it when I'm giving it to someone who's actually like involved in the process and knows what it's like to dress up. Okay, so if you go to Gunhead, you can get the pattern. If you go to RPC Studio, you will click this one, the custom-made costume. It is the Gunhead RPC version, so that's the option. So if you click it, you know, what are all the different things you can get? All right, so it's $270 just for basically printing the suit. And then they have all this useful info. But here's where you get to customizing. Right, so you would link to the pattern that you purchased here. And you can also probably, I guess you just send like basically the URL for that Deadpool pattern. You input your height, weight, you know, like, this is the other good thing. Like buying, you don't ever want to buy one size descriptive pattern from like Amazon, like a small, medium, or large, because I've done that and I've been burned. Like it will not fit you perfectly, or it might be way, way off. So you might be getting like a 5-foot person's outfit when you're actually 6 feet, and you know you're not going to get into that. Anyways, here this is going to be custom made, so they even ask you for your shoe size. So what are some of the options you can get? Well, for the mask, you can get it without the mask, and then you have all these different options. Usually this relates more to Spider-Man, but they do have like face shell that they have in-house for the Deadpool suit. You can also get, like this is again more related to Spider-Man than Deadpool suits. You can get like some puffy paint, extra 3D look and stuff. And then you can also get the built-in shoes. I actually got these for my outfit, and for the mask, I did have a face shell from them. I did lose an eyepiece from that face shell, so I've sent it back to RPC, and I'm still waiting for that to be replaced. Okay, so because it's Gunhead design one, they're not actually showing the Deadpool mask on here. But here at least you can kind of see like what the built-in shoe looks like. This is something you can do yourself after you got in the suit, which isn't the easiest thing, but if you're capable of modifying, and really all you're gonna do is like cut off an old tennis shoe and glue it on, you could probably do this yourself. But you don't have to, because you can add the option right there. So again, from Gunhead Design, one option is the RPC Studio. They're a great community, worth checking out. The other one that I was just amazed with how well the suit looks. I haven't seen this in person, but based on the pictures here, is this website, Zentai, right? Zentai. Okay, I guess we'll have to search for it. So we'll go to here, Superhero, Deadpool. So they got the same print. I think it's this one, and no, wait, the difference is the mask. So this one actually comes with a face shell. And that's like after I go through some of these other things. That's what we'll talk about next. Because the way the head of the Deadpool looks is one of the most important parts, I think, in my opinion. You can get really, honestly, any print you want, but like having a nice face shell is a good investment if you're gonna, especially like dress up several times. So you can get some gear. I think gear involves the different little holsters, and that's a lot of gear for $50. All right, good deal, good deal. So let's just say we want to add that. We want that face shell. This is without a doubt the cheapest face shell I've found on the internet that actually looks decent. I can't believe that it's $65. So yeah, I'm definitely recommending this place. But again, I have not seen them in real life, so there's the reviews that vouch that it's gonna look like it's supposed to. That looks pretty good to me. That mask might not be from them, and based on what I've seen, that actually looks like a Beanie One mask, so we'll get to that in a second. But again, you can mix and match. You can get most of your outfit here and then get your mask somewhere else, which is worth doing if you're going to try to save some money and get the best looking thing. But for $65, where did I go? Fucking face shell. There it is. There it is. That's not so bad. So it starts with 90. Now you're already up to 140. So let's just get rid of the gear. I don't think you necessarily need that. You can make your own, buy your own gear, have it custom. But I will say $50 is hard to beat. One gun, leg holster, there's guards right here, the gloves. Wow. If that's all included, that is ridiculous. Fabric. I am sorry, I don't know the difference. I'm pretty sure the jersey lycra is what's being shown here. And the shiny spandex, who knows? You don't want that, I think. And again, they also have the option to do built-in shoes. So, pretty interesting. Oh, this is really cool. Like, so some of these features you want to like know about when you're nah, hopefully not that one. That definitely should be included. Yeah. Let's see. You can add toes. That's interesting, I guess. That one's weird. That's also weird. That'll just look weird, guys. Don't want to get that, but I think that's one option. Hmm. I do have an older suit that has this wear from leg option. So basically, the zipper is like right there, and that's the only zipper. And you'll slip into right here and then put your legs in. There are certain angles where this will show, but it's not so bad. In mine, it's the zipper is pretty seamless. So that's another thing about Gunhead. I think that's really great is they did a really good job of making that nice, elegant, and the zipper doesn't stand out too much. Okay, so like I said, one place where you can get these PDF patterns is Gunhead Design. One of the places where you can print it is RPC Studio. Another one is Zentai. Gunhead Design isn't the only group that makes different patterns. So Brendan O. Gilberto? Huh, I didn't notice the O before. So this guy's another one, and I really don't know of many others that do this. I'm sorry, but at least I have one more. Yay! He's another person who has some suit design options, and he actually will commission and make custom designs for you. Betting that somewhere on here he's got the different options, but again, typically applies within an hour. Like, you can reach out to all these folks. I think one thing that's important, just from my experience, be specific. When you're asking questions, when you're trying to get in touch with them, like, don't just send one sentence like, "How do I get this costume?" Whatever. Or like, just like, understand they're just people like you and me, and that they want as much info as possible. They want to help you, but like, if you're not giving them the time to actually write message that can be answered very easily, they might not answer your message. But I figure, if he's replying within an hour, this guy's probably going to answer you anyways. Yeah, one of the coolest things he's done is custom made is this PhDPool. This is by Spider Inferno on Instagram. Yeah, it's a very nice bit of work. Okay, so this is another person you can use for getting the different PDF file. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the reason I'm making this video is because I had some time, and because I am kind of been home alone, not alone, but I've been resting at home because I have this nasty cold, which is almost over, but it's not. It's like hopefully the last day. Right. So another person that makes the different patterns, you can print them here. One more option I'm going to throw out there is Snakebit Studios. Their website is interesting. Because I don't see that Deadpool out in here. This is a different one. This is like a more cartoon version. But if you go to their Etsy page, they have that movie style Deadpool outfit. There's the hybrid, but I'm not sure what that means. And there's this one. This is basically it. The Mark II costume. I've seen maybe like, oh geez, I wish I could remember his username. But one guy on Instagram for sure. This is actually him. Oh, so embarrassed. I don't know the name. But yeah, you can, compared to mine, it's the exact same pattern. This one actually printed a little darker, which is nice. They have their own version of a face shell, which will let your mouth move. That's pretty nice. This guy got the same props that Snakebit Studios offers. So boom, right there, like you got your costume. Oh, I see. So you get the mask and the bodysuit for $5.75, and you get your mask, bodysuit, and the props for $7.75. That's a lot. And one thing that I do get asked about, and we're about to move into this next, right? So for for the Deadpool one, let me see what they say. Right. Yep, that's about the price. That's how much they charge. So it's $240 if you wanted to get a face shell from RPC. Oh, one more person that does both face shells and masks and props is Benny One. This guy is a person, he's just a person like you and me, and he's a nice guy. One thing that's sometimes like ease of shopping is important to consider. So with them, you're gonna have to do some research to basically find out what they have available. I didn't see like a storefront listed, so you just kind of have to like look through the older pictures and get in touch with him to be like, hey, this newer suit that you say is slimmer or slim fit, I want that. How do I go about? Oh, Prince. How do I go about getting that? Also, I liked, let's say, uh, I'm a lady Deadpool, and I like this mask. That's you guys? You make that mask? Can I inquire how much that is? And that's how you're gonna go about doing it, like that process. Um, he's just great. His whole mantra is like the Deadpool cosplayers that shop and interact with him. They're like a family, and I really respect that. And I think he tries really hard to make sure to meet the level that he sees that he should be providing you with his products. So he's just another person to check out. Okay, so I mentioned that he also has face shells, and I've talked about like how you would get the costume. Wow, really, computer? Let's move into the face shells. So what I'm running, and again, I had the face shell from RPC Studios. If you go back to my first few set of pictures of my last year's Dragon Con, that's the face shell I was sporting then. Again, because I lost a piece, I sent it back, and in the interim, I have acquired a new one because I wanted to keep taking pictures. So, the one that I have is from this person called Elfet. That is where I got my face shell. You get in contact with him by emailing him at this email. You can also message him. Wow. So, on the app, you can message him on the Instagram app. I think I've answered probably most of the questions I get all the time. So the face shell that he has, so it's been updated over time and includes some newer options now, like this X4 step. Wow, that is so nice. But compared to mine, well, let's just focus on this one. Basically, the only thing that's different is mine has white eyepiece. He's been updating a lot. So even my older face shell, like this is like harder plastic. This looks either just smoother of a printing, or it's a different material. I'm not sure. But when you're buying these masks, I really don't want to try to like load it up because this thing is heating up. He's got 3 different options. Let's see if we can find them. The 3 different options, price-wise, are $200, $250, and $400. So these different face shell options, man, oh man. He's also on Facebook and YouTube. So definitely someone to worth checking out. There's me. Let's see if we can find those 3 options. There's just like this one picture that's very clear. I'm sorry that I'm wasting so much time. I should have been prepared for this. Okay, so this is kind of like the very first build. I think he maybe talks about it here. So basically you would have like, this is not the exact picture I was looking for, but the $200 option comes with the masks as is, like this isn't cut out and the magnets aren't there. If you bump it up $50 more to the $250 option, you get kind of what's shown here, where you have like the face shell that goes under the hood, and then you have the magnets that then go over the fabric, and that's what I have. The $400 version is kind of what we saw at the very beginning. It's this. So like let's say it's basically red, but let's say you got the $400 X-Force Deadpool mask. Like it would look just like this. You get some of this sexy fabric that they're working on. They're also working to make that full outfit, which I talked about earlier, that this guy's sporting, and will be worn by Spidey Fit and B-Boy Spider-Man, and they have all my jealousy and envy, so, shout out to them. Definitely check him out. Now, who else is available? Well, remember we saw Zentai has their $65 mask, and let me reiterate that that is going to be like the cheapest you're going to find. That actually looks pretty darn good. Now, the other folks that I've seen is the Lustre Studios, whose website is not where you want to be shopping for this. They have some pictures. You can instead go to their Etsy page, and here they'll have the same information, the same shopping options. So they got that one. Yep. A lot of options. So most of the masks actually look like this underneath. Yeah, if I'm not wrong. So you actually get a moving mouth, which for some of you, that's actually very important because, you know, if you want to get like that, that's kind of what he looks like in the movie. He's got going on. He's got the whole motion. But this is the Illustra Studio mask, and it's very nice. One thing to point out that I really think is great is they have that little tip. That's just a nice little detail. I've seen, this is another one, Bad Art Studios. I've seen them making this mask, but I've not seen it as available to purchase. Oh, did I scroll past it? There it is. So they have like this Deadpool face shell, but I think it's still a work in progress because if you check out their website, it's not up there. And one other one, surprisingly enough, in the Batman world, boom, awesome, good timing, is this Deadpool mask by Gotham City FX. Let's go to the link and hopefully it works. One of these did not, the server did not work. But here's the thing to point out. Okay, so for most of these, like Gotham City FX, this mask costs $180. That's probably what this one's gonna cost, and for Lustre Studios, it's $162. So that's that lower, like that's the average range for like a good quality face shell. All right, and they also come with the hood, so that's great. That's gravy. I want to get that too. Oh, also, just like Illustra Studios, Gotham City FX also has an Etsy page. For some reason, they're not listing the Deadpool mask on there. So maybe you need to contact them to see whether they actually have it. But one last site I'm going to talk about this one called Xcoser, and it's an interesting one. I have so love it. This happened earlier too. Something about their website, it crashes. I was hoping I could talk about it, but oh, they have a Facebook page. Maybe we'll try that instead because that site was crashing. So they have a more of like a leathery outfit, which it's kind of what the movie suit looks like. That looks pretty good. This person, maybe that face shell is just really big. This is interesting. What's going on here? So I think the face shell. Man, I wish I need that website. I think it's over $100. I'm pretty sure this mask. Nope, I think it's more like 80. This is actually pretty affordable. It looks interesting to say the least. I think that their outfit is really good, and that's what I would go with. So for right now, because the site didn't really load, I'm just gonna put it out there as a check out Xcoser. And if you no, that's the fucking dead. That's the Facebook page. What? I went back. This doesn't make sense. Where are you? Okay, well, if you can get the site to load, check out the options they have, and they had like a lot of different options. So including the shin armor and the boots, the mask, the props. They had like everything. If you that one picture I showed, if you want that, you can have. Oh, there it is. No, that's not it. This is the wrong one. If you see this, that's not what I'm talking about. You saw those Facebook pictures. That's kind of what you want. I'm not gonna spend any more time on this. I hope this has been useful. Maybe entertaining, but I hope you get something out of this. And let me just say that cosplaying can be fun. You should not be afraid to give it a try. I think it can be a very, I think just fun is the main thing, and like rewarding or whatever. It can be motivating. You can end up like getting really into like creating some of your costumes and I would not be hesitant to give it a shot. And some of the negative parts you might get from certain individuals, I really like hope that they're not the ones who are defining this whole uh, I, cosplay as like a way of doing things you like. Like they shouldn't be ruining it for you. You'll always have good and bad people in everything you do, and no matter what area you go in life. So you know, you'll get a lot of Deadpool cosplayers are so annoying and they're the worst. Well, sure, there are some. You can be that exception to the rule. Anyways, hope this has been useful. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You can always find me on YouTube and Instagram primarily, and I have some stuff on Flickr, and I have a Facebook page. But that's just me saying things. All right, until next time, bye.